What's up, everyone? Welcome in. It is PopFourceOne. It is Thursday night, and that's the best night of the week because it's PopFourceOne night. So hopefully everyone is doing well. Welcome in, everyone. Hopefully you're ready for a fun show, a good time. I want to say welcome in to several people, but I saw some memberships and some fun things that going on, including Gus Collects here. Holding down the fort at 10 months, almost a year, Gus. You're close. You're getting there. And I need more NFT drops to come. Come on, Funko. Come on. All right. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure, tonight a little bit, Gus. So welcome. Thank you, Gus. Also, welcome in everyone else that is joining us. I see Susan, Anna, Carl here. Travis, what's going on? Pop Funko UK. Ace is in the house. David. What's up? So a lot of people coming in. Yeah, and you gotta wait because I wanted the clock to go down. Also wanted you guys to go over and check out the donation page that's happening for a rally and raise, because we can earn an extra $1,000 if we have the most individual donations. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I can put that QR code back up a little later on, but also bookmark our auction coming up, our charity auction end of the month. We got a huge haul in today. You might have seen it on Instagram, but some crazy stuff. Welcome in, David, Jeremy. What's up, everyone? So welcome in. And look, and I saw one other thing happening. A great gift of a membership by Travis. Travis, that's awesome. You gave Dr. John a new membership, so received the gifted membership. So welcome, Dr. John, to the classroom. All right, so I see a lot of people popping in. Evelyn, I see Pipsqueak Collectibles, I see Evelyn in here, I see Tim hanging out with us. Riley, what's up? What's going on? Hopefully you are doing well as too. And look, not just that, but 3 months so far, Travis. Thank you. And also thank you for gifting memberships. Really appreciate it. Gator, the Gator's hanging out in the house. What's going on? Linda, if you haven't seen a nice little video coming up, we'll be unboxing something from Linda. So, and I appreciate Linda actually was the third person other than myself. I made a donation already too. Linda was the third person to make a donation to our charity. So Linda, I appreciate you. I appreciate you and Zach and your whole family there helping out and be involved. David's hanging out with us. David has 27 months. Happy PFO, Josh, Vincent, maybe John. Well, maybe Vince actually tonight. So that'll be the surprise for tonight. Zach, welcome in. Appreciate everyone jumping in, trying to catch up with the chat because we got another 28 months here for Magna. Welcome in. Hi, everyone. Also, I have a ton of live streams kind of set up for this month. So you guys are getting some extra live streams too. If you haven't checked that out on the channel, you can set your reminders and all that good stuff. But I do have somebody hiding backstage with me, and it's not Vince, actually. It's not Vince. Vince maybe lost his internet for good. We never know. But we got John hanging back with us. I'm going to bring you in, John. Let's see if we can switch up. Let me switch up. Let's see how we want to do this. Let's get this 2x2 going. We'll hide this for now. Welcome in, John. How you doing? I can't hear you. I don't know if it's me. I could hear my sound. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear John? Or am I just not hearing things? Maybe John took over Vince's role and grabbing the internet. Or we just lost it. Yay! I hear you now. Welcome, man.
I was here for a while, for the record.
Just for the record, it was after the countdown started, though. So I actually changed the countdown before we started because you weren't here. So I changed it a little longer just to give you a little time. I've been nice. It's giving you a little buffer.
I'll take it.
Give you a little extra time. And also I wanted people to go over and check out the donation page if they hadn't done that. So
can you guys hear me in the chat? I see some people saying no.
Well, I think before. I think it's always that like 30-second delay with YouTube. All that fun. Yay. Yes, people are here.
All right, nice.
Oh,
nice.
look, maybe we can get Vince in AI form. Maybe we can just.
No.
It could be. All right, John. Do you know who Max Headroom is? Do you know that? Okay, so I won't. People in the chat, do you know who Max Headroom is? Vince could be like that kind of thing. Like, you have to go check out some clips on YouTube for him. It's very definitely before your time, 80s kind of like HBO fun stuff going on there. He kind of like a TV personality head that's like virtual, so very like kind of futuristic a little bit. All that fun stuff. How are you doing, John? Are you feeling so much better?
Oh my God. Yeah. I got some sort of stomach bug that took me down so hard. I actually feel like a new person. I was talking to Joanna, of course, and I was like, I can't remember the last time I got sick. So I was definitely due, but yeah, it was really bad. It took me down hard. Joanna had to pick up a lot of slack. I was in bed for like 3 days, and then I need like another 2.5 days to recover. So it was rough, man, but happy to be standing again.
I mean, maybe you lost some weight, something like that happened.
I did. I went to the doctor today. I lost 2 pounds, so I think I lost it just because of the sickness, but I'll take it. Yeah, it was bad, Susan. It was so bad. I won't get into the details, but yeah, it was just horrible. Like I was so hungry, I couldn't keep food down. Was literally just drinking water and Gatorade, and just sleeping. Like I think it was Saturday, I slept for like 18 hours. It was crazy. But
and you didn't even go to the con to get sick and come back with
no, I literally just we were trying to figure out where I got it. I don't leave the house very often unless it's for work. The PO box. I either got it at the PO box or I got it at Walmart.
Pick up Wawa food and someone coughed on your food.
Yeah, maybe, but it was bad, man. It was really rough. But thank you to everybody who was checking in on us. It was much appreciated.
Well, I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad you're feeling better because I would be all alone tonight.
So. You'd be all alone. just be you.
With the great chat we have too, though. So we have a lot of great people hanging out with us. Vince will not be here. He is enjoying some family time. So good for them. And not going to a dance competition or a soccer tournament or something like that, So, hey, that is always needed, I think. And it's almost back to school. So that's one thing for a lot of people right now. All the kids around here go back to school next week. And then the week after, that's college. Like Shannon goes back to work starting next week, but college classes start the week after. So like all that school stuff's already happening here, like really fast and crazy. So some craziness there. Let's see if I can make this happen. I want to see if this is kind of cool. I was playing around with these kind of things to show everyone, but you're able to like put the QR code in different places and kind of fun little
graphics. You've been getting really tech savvy with all the little gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah, so there's some fun stuff in here, but this is for our Raise and Rally page. So if anyone wants to go over, I know a lot of people watch this on the replay. Some people were watching on TV. So I figured I'd go more QR code for a lot of things. I've been doing that on our videos and stuff like that too as well, just because that helps. I think, 50? I mean, we watch most of our YouTube, other than if I'm sitting at work, I watch it on TV if I'm home. I don't watch it on my computer or my phone.
We don't like watching it on TV. I don't know, because maybe it's just because of the remote we have. It doesn't allow us to click to the next video, or it's very hard to search for a certain channel. I guess if you program your algorithm to show you just a few channels that you want. But Joanna and I watch different things, so
yeah. Well, we have to switch profiles. We pay for. I don't know if you pay for YouTube Premium too.
No,
so
it feels wrong to do it.
No, you can still you actually give the creators more money, and you're not watching commercials.
Do we give ourselves money? Do we get a little bit of money?
Whoever you're watching will get your kickback. No, whoever you're watching gets money from YouTube Premium accounts when they watch your stuff because they're not getting videos. So part of that, your monthly payment is going towards these people. So if you watch a lot of YouTube Premium is a definite plus. So if you haven't done that,
I do it. I'm like Dr. John. I watch a lot on my phone because I usually just watch. It's hard for me to get through like a 20-minute video, but I watch stuff. I like watching long videos and like long form content. I'll just watch it in sections throughout the day.
See, we'll just kind of put it on, and it's a great background thing. Like if we're packing and doing stuff, or like just sitting around like grading, like, you know, things like that. It's a good like background kind of thing to put on sometimes. Or if you want something a little shorter too, like if like we want to do something, but we're like, oh, we don't want to watch. Like we'll sit down and watch. We'll end up watching 3 and/or episodes or something like that. Instead of doing that, let's just watch a couple YouTube videos, and we can go back to doing whatever we're doing. And we watch all kind of weird stuff. So, we watch food videos, we watch like theme park videos, and we'll watch some Funko videos and stuff like that. And if stuff we watch together, if not, like if I'm sitting out in the living room, she's in the bedroom, we'll watch different stuff and go to our different profiles that are totally opposite. So different people.
Riley's got the right idea. He's got everything programmed into his PS5, so it's super easy with the controller. Yeah, I've heard that's a good way to do it.
I think our Amazon Fire is pretty easy to use too. I don't know. Seems pretty intuitive. So definitely some easy things to do throughout the time. I don't know. I think it's also like I watch certain people over and over, especially if someone you start watching has a lot of backlog of video that's not time sensitive, then you can watch their backlog of videos. Like if you just found us, you're going to find 5 years of content, right? That it doesn't necessarily always is timely, like we're unboxing stuff isn't really like that timely of like you have to watch it at that week of what's happening. So
I think it's cool. I appreciate I occasionally will see comments on come up on our like YouTube studio from people watching previous videos, and I think it's really cool. I really appreciate you guys going back and watching any of our previous content. I think some people now are doing it because we've had our channels long enough, and Funko has changed so much, or the dynamic of the community has changed, and the company really has changed so much over the last few years. You can go back, and if you see what we're talking about is very different to what we're talking about today, especially with the different perspectives and how just collecting in general has changed. So I bet you it's pretty interesting going back.
I mean, maybe like on our 5-year anniversary, we need to like check out like our first ever PFO or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can go back that far.
No, go back and watch it though, and like check out like what do we talk about? Like what do we do? What do we like open? We did a lot of openings at the beginning too. Like all of us were like opening stuff and checking out. And I think that was like the prime time of mystery boxes at that time too. Like everyone had a mystery box. Every company had something out there because it was really before Whatnot kind of took off for a lot of people. It was before a lot of like other like Funko Shop didn't have as much stuff as they drop on their site as they do now, and all those kind of things. So definitely some interesting kind of look back. So if you haven't, go watch and like see how bad some of our videos are from the early days.
Yeah, it's plenty of bad ones. A couple people are saying my internet is rough. I'm so sorry if it is. I only have the one Wi-Fi.
Weird.
So.
It looks pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it skipped or something. Maybe it takes on.
Whose channel is the first one on? I think it's on Vince's, right?
Vince is like always issues. Like Vince's. I think
he was asking whose channel is the first ever PFO episode on.
Oh, I think mine. I think we all got I don't know if we were officially PFO at that time. I'm trying to think, but it was when we kind of all talked about like, let's do something together. Because you and I worked together a little bit. Like I did something with Jim a little bit before that. And like Vince, I think I had on a live stream because all of us were doing different live streams all the time. Like you and I were doing every week a separate live stream of our own every week. I mean, plus PFO, plus 3 videos a week and everything else. So yeah, always some craziness.
Riley's got a question for us. He says, do you guys miss opening on PFO? I always thought it'd be cool to do an occasional one, like save one box of fun for the live or a Fright Night box. I do miss opening stuff up on PFO. At least for us, our budget got much tighter over the last few years. So that's why we haven't opened up as much stuff. I mean, we don't even open up as much stuff in videos as we used to.
I think, we try to save stuff for videos. I mean, I think I opened some other stuff the other day. I think you weren't here and Vince and I were just on or something like that. And we opened I had some stuff to open. I think that's cool too. It's like, we try to also open when we do our own live streams. I know, like mail call and stuff, like our personal live streams when we do those. Cause I know you do some and Vince and both Shannon and I do, and Bree, like we try to do some of those. So we definitely, I think, would love to have, I think it would be cool though if we do find something. I know we do it as like a benefit, but like a benefit, like when we aren't doing a stream, like Thanksgiving, it's like a key time we decide family time or family time kind of thing. So we do a different kind of box opening. We try to do something during that, or if it falls on Christmas or something like that. But I think there was like if sodas were back, we'd probably be cracking open sodas.
Yeah, it was easy. It was easy with sodas, and it was definitely easier with a more abundance of mystery boxes.
Yeah, but, not much to choose from.
Really. Yeah, it's not much to choose from. I've kind of changed up the content a little bit, like on our channel, and it's been good and bad for us, just because I'm focusing more on like topical stuff, and making like shorter videos, because that's what people seem to want more. Like a lot of people have said they want shorter videos, so I'm trying to focus on shorter videos, talking about like one topic, like I did yesterday with the Star Killer Pop that's coming out tomorrow. But I've noticed a lot more comments, which is good. So there's been a lot more interaction, which I really enjoy, but it's bringing in a newer part of the community, which has been good and bad, because there's been some people who have been offering a lot of different perspectives.
It's opinions. It's a lot of opinions.
A lot of opinions, and some opinions I agree with, some I don't necessarily agree with. And I don't know if you have a slide, or I don't know if you have a slotted about talking about the Star Killer Pop. So I won't go into it too much unless you got it for later. But there's been a lot of interesting comments that have come my way and messages regarding that. And I'm kind of confused to where the community's at right now. And I don't know if maybe the community is just split in so many ways right now. It's just interesting.
I think so. I think a lot of people, I think we're seeing that time I feel like it's that time that you start seeing people leave the community and new people come into the community. So it's kind of like a weird flux. Like we see this. We've seen this the last 5 years. So like everyone's like, Funko's dying, everything's gone.
But I think there's another group of people that I think that we haven't realized who are coming back. And that is a group of people that were in it and maybe were gone for like a year or two, and now they're coming back.
Yeah.
So it's those returning people. Or I think there's also this other, that's why I'm saying, like, there's so many different groups now. It's not just like fresh people. Like there's people that are coming in that are like, that like took a step back essentially. And they're like, cause so many people messaged me in the last 24 hours, and they're like, why is the Star Killer Pop $50? Like, what's going on? Is that an error? Like, they don't know about this new tiered system. There was somebody who messaged us yesterday. I guess they just hadn't been out of the loop for so long. They didn't even know that Pop Price Guide charges now for their subscription. Well, like there's just so much stuff that happens. And if you don't pay attention, or if you're kind of gone for a minute, you can miss it.
You know what happened though, that recently, and it's been in the last couple of weeks, they started doing it where you can't even see prices unless you log in.
Yeah.
So that's where people started being like, oh, I have to log in, and then they realize they probably offer them a charge, when they log in. I pay for it, and have it on there. But sometimes I get I'm on my computer, I'm on my phone, I'm on my iPad, Shannon's in it, and all that kind of stuff. So we have multiple devices logged into the account. So sometimes it seems to get logged out or logged off after a certain time, not like 30 days or whatever, like they say. It feels like it, like every other day I'm logging back in to it, and getting weird ads or not seeing a price where I'm just trying to look up a price real quick or something like that. So I think that kind of caught people off guard. And I think the whole, like you said, the whole tier thing, I think if people aren't really following, like there's people that follow Funko, like a lot of people here watching following like the news sites, following what's happening, and other people are just collectors that necessarily don't follow all the social media, don't watch channels that often, like maybe they'll stumble upon it, or it'll pop up in their YouTube feed because it feeds off of something else. So I think a lot of that happens. I think a lot of people also like don't know what to I think there's always like that burnout with collecting and getting Funko Pops, and then you get too many, and then you try to sell, and then are you all out? Are you somewhat out? It's like that big roller coaster of a wave that happens, and we see it all the time, I think, with a lot of people. But I will say several people that are here are like OG people that have been with us since year one of us going. So I appreciate everyone that kind of keeps following us and keeps, with us doing different trends and looking at different things and talking about all kinds of stuff. I know we have a little bit to talk about. I want to talk about limited pieces a little bit. I do want to talk about NFTs, because I think I sent you some stuff. Like, I think that's a weird question right now. At least I kind of got into a conversation about it too with other people. So I'm curious to what thoughts are from our group on that. And then also, I think just a lot of releases. Like, people are saying, oh, Funko's not putting out good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. I will say that there's a lot of good things, like from common molds to the limited pieces.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Mason, I don't know if you're OG, man. You've been you're working your way up there, I think I saw Gus in the chat a little while ago. He says, do you guys still need a fourth person? I think we're still working out what this is going to look like long term, but a bunch of people have asked, and we really appreciate it. I would love to have 20 of you guys on here, but I think we're still trying to feel it out and try to see where this is going to go over the next few years or so.
I mean, we've been doing it for 5 years too, so that's a crazy thing about it. Every Thursday night for 5 years. Not a lot of streams can say that. Pretty consistent. I think there's only been, other than major holiday times, there might have been one or two other times when all of us were traveling or sick or something like that.
But I think that's okay. You got to give us a pass here and there. So
but that's maybe 3 or 4 times a year out of so we're talking about 48 Thursdays we're doing this a year. That's a lot. So
thank you, Riley. I'm digging this format too. I mean, obviously when one of us can't make it, then it goes from 3 to 2, but I think we can hold down the fort as 2 people.
Oh, look at this. Barry coming down. We're talking about some people adding up, almost at that 2-year level, Barry. Next month, we'll see you at 2 years. But what's going on? And thank you for supporting, Barry.
So Colin has this is going to tie perfectly. So thank you, Colin, for saying what you said. He said, Funko has been pushing out great stuff. It's a shame a lot of it, not all, is behind higher prices. And man, that may be the heart of the confusion where I'm at right now, just because it's going to tie in with the limited pieces. So a lot of people are upset that, for instance, and this is our first big Star Wars limited piece that's dropping tomorrow, right? I get it. A lot of people are upset that it's behind this $50 paywall. I think that it really doesn't matter, because this is such a limited piece, coming only in at 750 pieces. The mold is fantastic. It's a character we've only gotten one other pop of. It's popular, but not super popular. I really think Funko just knocked it out of the park with their strategy of how they handled Starkiller here. But if this pop was $15 or $50, I don't think it matters. I think it's selling out in 5 seconds, regardless of it being 15.
And it could have been even 1,200, and it was still sold out in 5 seconds. I don't think the number is going to matter too much, and we'll definitely let me bring up the slide on this one. But
I have some
OG, the OG of OGs.
Oh yeah, that's oh my god, 49 months.
Evelyn is the OG of OGs. 49 months. Appreciate you, Evelyn. You've always been great to all of us, and
thank you, Evelyn.
Appreciate you coming on, watching us, hanging out.
No, Evelyn's the best.
So, yeah, OG
Alex, I'm right there with you. I am so hyped for the release tomorrow, but I also know in my heart there's a 99% chance I'm not going to be able to get one, and that is okay. So I saw a lot of people express some frustrations with this pop because there's a lot of people that are diehard Star Wars fans and they are worried that they're not going to be able to get it tomorrow. But some people are so convinced they're not going to get it, they're not even going to try, which I think is the wrong mindset. Like, I think you should try no matter what. But here's the thing. I really do think this pop is not going to hold an exorbitant amount of money on the aftermarket long term. I don't see it because it has the common GameStop exclusive counterpart, because it's a character that I was surprised. And I mean, Josh, like, you're a Star Wars fan. How much do you know about Starkiller?
I mean, I don't know a ton about Starkiller.
You don't know
I will.
exactly.
I mean, I think it's not canon. It's not, hasn't been really in anything that you would have noticed or seen. I think it's one of the things, though, I will say it's a great looking mold. So that fact alone, I mean, it could be a great example of that, like FOMO that happens at least like at the beginning, first limited piece, but also like another great example is the Freddy, the headless Freddy from New York Comic Con. People went crazy on that. I remember people paying $150 for that con sticker pop, not limited, because the mold was so good. They didn't care if it was 2,000 or 15,000. They didn't know what it was going to be. They didn't know what it was. They just wanted it. Now it's kind of gone down to like that, probably like that $50 to $70 range for the con sticker. You know, like it still holds a decent, but for a Freddy that's not numbered, it's holding its own. Yeah. But this, I think what it's going to happen is it's just like, nice thing about it, though, it is that character that is kind of like, hopefully they don't make a ton of them. And like we have the unmask, now we have the mask.
I don't see them making any more unless he makes an appearance in a live action show. I don't see them making any more. But hear me out on this. This may be an unpopular opinion. I think, and you guys in the chat, feel free to disagree. I mean, people have been disagreeing with me left and right, so it's not going to hurt my feelings. I think that if this wasn't limited, this would be a $12 pop. If they just released this if this was like Funko Shop exclusive tomorrow, no piece count, $15, I think long term it would be a $12 pop and people wouldn't care. I think there's a great portion of people who only care about this because of that limited piece. Star Wars people care about it because it is the best by far Star Wars pop we've gotten in a long time. And that piece count just makes it extra special. Yeah. But it's the mold, just like you said with the Headless Freddy. The mold and the design is what is carrying this pop for Star Wars fans. What is carrying this for Funko fans is that piece count.
It's the number. And that's holding true with a lot of stuff. And I know I watched your video on like the you know, prices and stuff like that. But like that first one was a great example of like, oh, here's a pop that everyone has a regular mold of. We just turned it metallic and turned it 1,200 pieces, and it's still going for like $220. Like,
that makes no sense. That was a straight outlier, and I can't figure that one out. But that has the anime element. When you throw
it has the anime. But it's just like anime. A great example of anime, though, if you look at the Jolly Roger One Piece, right? Like the One Piece pop that was at Fun Days. What was that? 3,400? 3,400?
Yeah, 3,400. Yeah.
How much is that one going for? Like it hasn't went down.
That's why like anime is its own thing. Like anime is so popular and has such a strong demand that people will pay for non.
But I think Star Wars does too, because there's pops out there that I don't think deserve the price they are.
There are
Star Wars,
but not for non-original trilogy.
But there's not a lot of non-original trilogy limited
because Funko is afraid to take a risk. This is a risk for Funko, and I'm guessing that the only reason they did this is because the GameStop Starkiller must have sold okay. I would be shocked if it sold well, because I feel like there was nobody talking about it. And this other person messaged, and there was some other comments on my video yesterday saying that I was downplaying the popularity of Starkiller, and Starkiller is actually like a huge deal. He is a big deal to Star Wars fans, but I don't think there's a lot of Star Wars fans in Funko right now because Funko is not taking risks. They're not doing what other companies are doing. They're not putting out new characters, with the exception of the San Diego Comic-Con leaked wave that they showed. And this, Funko has been playing it safe with Star Wars for the last few years. And when you play it safe, you're not going to bring in new people. You're just going to continue the status quo. So I'm really excited that they're doing this. I hope they do more of this. I just don't think that I'll just be surprised if this continues to be a $300 pop a year from now. That's all.
I think there'll be people that will hopefully no one gets more than one first. Like if you do, it's because you have family, friends, or whoever hopefully buying this too. I think the rewards part is such a plus to this behind this, because I think it cuts down on everyone and their brother getting it. Like, I think that's one thing. Yeah, I think I do like that rewards part being connected to these kind of pieces, because it does, I think, cuts down that like issue with multiple logins. You have to spend money on these logins if you're gonna get something like this. Even if you have multiple logins or different ways, I think that's the plus, and that will make it much harder, because the people that get this, one, you're going to be really lucky and get it and don't care and just want to make a quick $300, $200 off of it, or whatever you can make off of it.
I see a lot of people admitting that they're trying to do that. Like, they don't even care. They don't know who this character is. They're literally just in this to flip it to an actual Star Wars fan.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be those people. There's going to be the people that the opposite end that really want this won't pay $350. Like, I think you showed like the eBay purchases already, which I never got. Never get how that works. But, that idea of being able to get those, I think the thing about this is there's going to be more than 750 Star Wars fans that will really want this. And all there has to be is over 750 fans that really want this. And what are they willing to pay for it? And who's willing to give it up once it gets in the fans' hands? So that's the problem. Like, you could, 750 doesn't go far once you get it to people that want to keep it, unless something comes up in their life where they have to sell.
This is the interesting part. So there is everything you just said is 100% true, and there's way more than 750 people that I'm sure would love to have this in their Star Wars collection.
And they're not going to drop 750. We know that too. They're not going to have 750 out of the gate. I guarantee. If they made only 750, they'll probably drop 700 or less, because they'll keep some case. I mean, they've been shipping all these limited pieces spectacular, but
I mean, if they're doing that, that's kind of messed up. Like, they should, if it's 750, they should just drop the 750 and call it.
But also they might have some in case issues happen or things get lost. I mean, how disappointed. I mean, they might not have any too. Who knows? Or they might keep some for some kind of great fan extra giveaway thing or something like that.
I hope they don't do that. I hope they just drop the 750. They shouldn't hold any back. If they're planning on having issues, I mean, that's a separate thing, but whatever. Anyway, there's definitely thousands of people that want this pop. And there's, in addition to those thousands of people who actually want this pop for their collection, throw in another, 5,000 people or more that are going to be trying to get this just to flip. Here's the thing though. And I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, this is so messed up. And they're not for limited pieces, and at least with Star Wars characters, because they don't want to fight. Like, it seems like there is a portion of people that just, they want a cool Star Wars pop, but they want it to be $15. They don't want a limited piece. They don't want to do this. They don't want to fight with people. They don't want con exclusives. And I don't like that mentality per se, because if you don't want something, that's fine. But I'm okay with fighting, and I'm okay with losing. And I'm also okay with waiting to see how the aftermarket is going to fare, because I really do believe that if you want this, you will be able to get this. I know you're not going to be able to get this for $50. Like, somebody on the secondary market is not going to sell it to you for $50 because they know it's going to sell out. They had to work for it. They had to be there on the website. They had to use their report points.
Pay tax, pay shipping.
Yeah. So, but I do believe that you will be able to get this for anywhere from $100 to $150. If you look at the other pops that I showed in my video yesterday, I mean, how popular is Strawberry Shortcake? I would argue, and this is where somebody vastly disagreed with me, but I would argue that Strawberry Shortcake is a more household name than Star Killer. If you say Darth Vader, everybody knows Darth Vader. But I think most people know who Strawberry Shortcake is, who aren't even like Strawberry Shortcake fans. They know the character. I would argue that Star Killer is just not a household name. And if you don't even know who he's from, you could be like, is that like a gaming character? Like, who is that? Like, is that Star Wars, Star Trek? Like, that name is just kind of like Star Killer. It's not really like Star Wars-esque when you hear like Qui-Gon Jinn or Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin. Like, those are all like very Star Wars sounding names, you know?
Well, I think one of the things you're going to see is also just the idea behind, like you said, Strawberry Shortcake. How many like Strawberry Shortcake completionists are out there? Probably not as many as like people that are going after hard to find Star Wars Pops. You know, like that's the thing too, is like they're, and also what are they willing to pay for it?
People pay for Strawberry Shortcake.
The market, you know, like that kind of thing. I mean, the OG, you look at OG Strawberry Shortcake compared to a OG Star Wars Blue Box, like look at those kind of prices.
Well, it depends. I mean, it completely depends. I mean, you could grab like a Figurin Dan OG Blue Box for $30, you know, or yeah, I mean, the OG Chewbacca Blue Box is like 200. So like the blue, it depends on the character. That's my point. It just depends on the character. And I have literally never heard anybody over the 5 years that we've had this channel. I've never heard anybody say, even like my fellow diehard Star Wars fans, I have heard you guys say you've wanted a plethora of other characters prior. I've never heard anybody say Star Killer. I've heard a lot of people say Ventress, a lot of people say more clones, a lot of people say other Jedi, you know, other cool
I think the big
characters.
thing is Disney going to put this in live action, or maybe not even in live action, but something else too. And that's going to totally change it. It's kind of Mandalorian, right? No one heard of the Mandalorian before it came out because, you know, you knew of the characters and stuff like that. But look at that New York, you know, the D23 Mandalorian, what happened with that. I mean, that could be a great example.
Well, Mando was a little bit different because they created Din Djarin out of thin air. Like,
yeah.
No one, you know,
so no one knew like the character, but they knew like that storyline, like a little bit about the background of, you know, the Mandalorians as well. But that character sold, and it went up after they released. I mean, but also things can go back down later on too. The hype could be there. Hype could be this because it's low piece count. Hype could come back if he's in something. If it's not popular, though, that hype dies down quick and lowers the pop as well, too. We've seen that with Marvel characters like She-Hulk and other things like that. Like hype builds, Daredevil, hype sometimes builds, goes crazy, dies back down, goes down. Maybe later on it'll go back up. Maybe it'll even out. And I think, but one of the things Funko's doing well is for this month, these are all great molds and all great characters.
They are, and they have a great lineup, and I think it's awesome that they're giving us heads up on like what is coming out.
A month ahead, yeah, a month of different things. I think one of the other things. So there was another side of this, and this is one of the things I probably want to talk about. Like, these are cool. Look ahead if you want to get any of these.
Yeah, before we go ahead, there is some stuff in the chat we definitely should address here. I think it was Nikon. Travis said something earlier. Oh, he had a question a couple minutes ago. Sorry, Travis. He said, my question, if you get into it and you don't get it, do you lose the 2,000 points? You do not. The points will be refunded to your account.
Yeah. Or sometimes they like can't get you it, and then they let you know, and you can get back in later and get it. I've heard people because the site crashes or it's weird, or has issues, things like that.
We lost our points for one of the ones that we were trying to get. When I say lost, like they were deducted from our account and they were credited back 24 hours later. So, Dave, if you lost your points on a drop, reach out to Funko customer support. They'll get you those points back. Because you didn't get the item. Like, it's not like
because none of them have not sold out where they gone to the regular market yet. At this point, none of them, even Fource Ghost Snow White sold out and didn't have to use points though, I don't think, but it did sell out like the same day still as well.
Dave also said, sad that Star Wars fans will not get to buy it because of the flippers, and the people that get it only because of the value it could become. And here's the thing. It's so interesting and so finicky how the collecting community is. Let's say this pop was 5,000 pieces and didn't sell out immediately. It would be the same situation we had with San Diego Comic-Con when everybody was like, "Oh, how come the Huckleberry Hounds didn't sell out right away?" And everybody's like, "Oh, wow, that's weird. I thought they were going to sell out." Like I feel like we can't make up our minds. Like if something is going to sell out quickly and we want it, we're upset. But if we want it and it doesn't sell out quickly or it doesn't sell out at all, we're like, what's going on? Like, did Funko make too many? Like, I don't know. I think we just have to just understand that this is a game and Funko's going to release what they're going to release. And if there's more demand than supply, then so be it. Like, good for Funko. It's going to sell out. Like, we just have to accept that as collectors. If we don't want limited pieces, then we need to stop saying as a community we want limited pieces. But I don't think that's the case. I think people want limited pieces for their collection. Like, they want stuff in their collection that's going to be a little bit valuable compared to like your average $15 retail pop. If I'm wrong, I can be wrong, but I'll be the minority then that says I enjoy seeing limited pieces drop. Clearly, there's a lot of other people who are enjoying seeing these limited pieces drop because every single one is sold out. Even that Snow White that was terrible, in my opinion, with the same mold and everything, but they were still able to sell that out.
Now, one of the critical things I do want to chat about limited pieces, I have kind of a concern, a fear about almost like the possibility to abuse a limited piece as a retailer. And I don't think we're not gonna see it from Funko. We're not gonna see it from Hot Topic or Box Lunch, but we could have a possibility of seeing this from smaller companies that decide to hold kind of for ransom some limited pops and kind of drop them in different ways of like people being able to get them and not get them. And I know they purchase them, it's their purchase, but I feel kind of weird. So this is a great example of one that I will say I was able to get one on.
I had a feeling you were going to bring this up.
I got this one on Tuesday morning. I got it on the drop, sold out in about 3 minutes. They did have a lot of these for sale prior to this as autographed ones, which is fine. You know, they had autograph session with this person. That's cool. I'm sure, you know, it's a different way of doing it than like $7 a pop did the chase instead. And, you know, the autograph was part of the chase. They just had some autograph ones that they were selling and they weren't ridiculous for sale. Like it was really like what you cost for autograph. I think they were like around that like $100 range or something like that. The limited piece pop plus, you know, the autograph plus the JSA plus a nice protector. Like they threw in all that kind of stuff. Now, the other one that dropped, the Farron pop. I want to say, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I've never seen it. Yeah. But what happened with that one was people were upset about how they're dropping on whatnot, 100 an hour, this and that. And I totally get that too. Like it's crazy. What I don't like is all I'm seeing is every time Chalice is doing now their surprise sets on whatnot, there's 3 or 4 of these in there every time, 3 or 4 of these, 3. And so how many did they hold back to kind of set the market and like sell out? And then you control kind of how many are released at a time. And then yours becomes more valuable and hold. And I know all companies probably have done a little bit this time. You know, Plastic Empire held back, I'm sure, a couple of the Marty McFlys that were limited, that were plutonium to use as top hits and other things over time. They had a lot of these signed, which is cool. It's a different style of selling them and doing them. But the problem is going to be the increase of like aftermarket price of these. Is that going to be held against people for like always? I would hate to see like them selling only 2,000 of these. I mean, there's 9,500 of these, and it's worldwide. So I know other retailers must get some of these as well too, somewhere else, like Plastic or Pop Culture or something else must get some of these. But I'm concerned about companies doing this and using it as a tool on whatnot for them.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't like them doing that because then they're manipulating their own product, and it's their own exclusive. It's not like they're not making the pop, but it's their own exclusive. Yeah. And I don't think they should do that. I think that's kind of shady because I think that's where Funko, I feel like, needs to come out and say, like, hey, you can't hold these for ransom on an auction platform to twist people's arm. So that's shady business practice.
I'm okay if they sell them for retail, but not use them as now they are top hits.
Yeah, that's messed up. If they want to just say, hey, they're $20 on our website, or they're $20 on Whatnot, because maybe if you're buying from them on Whatnot and you want to add one to your order because you already have free shipping, I have no qualms with that. I think that's fine. But yeah, I've seen a lot of company, like, not just with Funko stuff. I've seen a lot of companies using their own exclusives or using a limited piece as like a top hit, or especially with Whatnot, like surprise sets, prizes, and stuff.
I'm okay if it's a 8-year-old, 10-year-old pop, if it's their own and they held back a case that.
Oh yeah, like if Fugitive wants to take out like a black and white Spider-Man from 10, 12, 13 years ago, yeah, go for it. Because you don't know if they bought that back.
Something that you haven't even sold yet, or you just sold and you sold out on your site, and then like, oh, these are the hits that we're using every time, like every stream that we're doing.
And that was messed up. That was messed up. That Plastic Empire was holding them, like that they were holding back the Marty McFlys too, and then just putting them out little by little. That I don't really have as much of a problem with, because they were just slowly selling them. But yeah, like the Whatnot thing, like Chalice should know better. They should know better, because here's the thing: if I was Chalice, I would just be like, hey, we're gonna put them, divide the stock, because where do they mostly sell their stuff? On their website?
Yeah. I mean, they have stores too. They have stores.
That's what I'm saying. So they have their website, they have stores, they have Whatnot. And if I see them, they're very active on Whatnot. If I was Chalice, I would tell everybody, because not everybody uses Whatnot. Not everybody knows about their website. Not everybody goes into their stores. But I would venture to say there's people that do all three. Like there's at least, if you're somebody who follows Chalice, you do at least one of the three, if not two or all three.
Yeah.
So I would just do like tomorrow, like Friday, right? If with these what's this pop? Naruto, just Naruto Uzumaki.
It's a Naruto. Yeah.
There's a lot of Naruto. There's a lot of
Naruto.
We're doing Naruto Uzumaki in Fire Flame Swirl, or whatever this is called, right? I would just say, if I'm the owner of Chalice, I am dropping this tomorrow at noon. There will be a portion of them available on our website. There will be a portion of them available in each one of our retail store locations. I've instructed all my employees to not allow any of them to be pre-sold before 12 noon. And same thing on Whatnot. We will go live at 12 noon, or we'll go live at 11:45, and so we'll tell everybody what's going on. And then at 12 noon, they will be dropping them evenly, and then that's it. And then everyone has an equal opportunity to get them. And then if I'm Chalice, I'll be like, I did the best I could. I gave everybody an equal opportunity. I don't know what else we can do.
So I think, overall they did do most of that, which was kind of like that part. I think they did. I think the problem is now seeing them use it over and over and over as and you could say what you want, like Whatnot can say, oh, surprise sets don't have hits in them. Every single surprise set has hits in them. I don't care what you say. It's the same thing as a mystery box. You're just calling it a different name to get around the mystery box concept and name. Everyone's doing the same kind of thing where you have some kind of hits in them. Like people, unless you're selling them for $5, people aren't buying them. Buying something where they don't know what they're getting for that certain price. For a price over maybe potentially what you got, but. I think I just hate to see it like used over and over. Hey, if you do it every once in a while, that's cool. But I think if now I'm seeing every stream, I was like, at first I saw a couple streams with it. I actually won one. I won one of these and assigned one of the other one on a Chalice stream. They have some decent stuff that you get from a lot of anime, but they have they're decent exclusives and other chases and stuff like that you get from their surprise sets. But I was like, then I kept seeing every time I would go into a Chalice stream and take a look, I was like seeing them on the wall, and I'm like, they're abusing that now. Now it's become beyond the, like, we can use this for a hit every once in a while or use it. Like now it's like, oh, we got these cheap, so we can. I mean, they had to get them cheap. If they're selling these for $20, they had to get them for $10. So using as a hit, they can use them all day, and they're making money no matter what. If you use several as hits and things like that. I think that's my biggest concern with those. I hope other people don't start following that suit, and that's what I'm afraid of. Like these others, and we know a company
that's where Funko
really soon. That's
where Funko needs to come in and circumvent that. And if they say, Colin says their social media guys said at the beginning of Whatnot they worked with Funko to do this type of event. I would be very surprised if Funko was encouraging that.
I think you're talking about they work with Funko to drop them on Whatnot for the drop. I don't have a problem with that, actually, how they drop them on Whatnot and we're selling them at retail and drop 100 to 1,000 at a time to get people on their Whatnot. That's just marketing 101. That is not a concern. A concern is using these as now inflated value hits in a mystery box.
Yeah, but I was just confused. I was confused because he made a big deal. I heard him say it a few times, like Colin is bringing it up, because I was in there curious why there was 1,200 people in there. I was just confused, like why would they need like Funko's permission to drop them there, unless Funko specifically says like, hey, just like give us a heads up where you plan on releasing your exclusive.
I think that's a good like. I mean, they probably have one of the best relationships for exclusives as any retailer other than like Hot Topic. I think Chalice actually puts out really good looking exclusives. They do a good job at this. I think this threw a lot of people for a loop because of the Whatnot piece in there. But now you're seeing like other elements. And this is the first time we're seeing more limited pieces. Most of Chalice's stuff in the past had just been, whatever Chalice is buying, which I don't know if they're buying 15,000 of or 30,000 of, like whatever level they're buying it at. But I think also they're not the only retailer like here is, like they're not the only retailer that are getting these. So I know other people have got them. I think I saw Pop Culture say they got these and they're selling them and stuff like that. So there's not 9,500 of these in the US alone. I don't know what percentage there is. So, but they do have some sign. I don't mind the sign. They're selling the sign.
I didn't like the sign, the way they did the sign thing, because I felt like it was forcing a lot of people to buy a signed one that didn't want, like, because if they had dropped like a Star Wars pop and they said, hey, because they were only selling the signed ones first, and then they said that whatever was not sold would be unsigned or whatever the portion was.
But they couldn't have, because they already had to have them signed to get them sent out. So that
whatever they were saying, it didn't make sense to me, or it sounded off. I don't know, like I would say you sell the exclusive unsigned, and then and then you say, hey, after you purchase it at the regular retail price for an additional price, if you then want yours pulled to be signed at this later event where we're going to have the voice actor or the real life actor or the personality or whatever it is. I just didn't like it. Just seemed like they were kind of forcing people to spend more on a signed one that probably didn't want a signed one. And then actually, that's exactly what it was, Travis. And then forcing them to buy the auto and then buy the protector as well. If you're forcing me to buy a protector, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll buy your protector. Even though I heard a lot of bad things about their protector. Somebody put it in the chat too.
Oh, they're like their new magnetic like pop armor.
Yeah, like Future guy said the Chalice armor that came with the fire in was kind of bad, had an awful chemical smell. I heard a lot of people talking about that, and it's so big you can put a pop and a soft protector in the armor. That might be a little bit too big. No, Colin, whatever info you got is great, because I know you're a moderator over there. I just was looking at it from my perspective. Like if it was a Star Wars pop, even if it was like Anakin or somebody like Hayden Christensen, I would not want it signed. I'd be like, I just want the pop, because I don't want pops. I don't want signed pops that I don't get the signature in person. So like I don't want to buy a signed pop from a company. I just want the exclusive.
I don't mind that with some of these, and I've met the Naruto Miley, I think her name is Flanagan. She's really nice. I met her before. I've gotten some sign from her before, but I would say one of the things that and Chalice just sells a lot of autographed stuff in general too. That's like their thing, one of their things. But this is one of the ones I'm kind of concerned about. Like seeing this could happen again. Could something like this happen? Now they're dropping this at a actual event. If anyone's in Arizona Collectors Expo, a 1,200 piece Leroy, Disney exclusive Stitch. Kind of like
this is cool. If I had the opportunity to pick this up, I totally would. This is going to be
it's a cool one, but I could see Toy Temple does a lot of the same things as Chalice does. They do a lot of surprise sets now on Whatnot, and I would hate to see that start happening with this. They hold 400 of these behind, sell what they can at the expo, maybe sell a couple on their website or do something else, and then hold another 400 behind for the next year of Whatnot surprise set shows or something like that.
I hope not.
I hope we don't see that. That's why I'm just concerned about it. Like,
no, it's a valid concern. I hope companies just do right. Just be good to your customers. Just be good to your people.
And don't like abuse the community and
exactly.
Don't abuse the price too, because you're gonna burn. You're not just gonna burn the customer. You're going to end up burning your community that buys from you. People just won't trust you in the future. So you have to be careful on that.
So Riley brought up a good point a couple minutes ago. He said it's like the opposite of what Thrilljoy is doing. Thrilljoy sells their stuff early to get hype going and capitalize on that. Chalice is selling these after the fact, creating the hype, and after the hype is there. See, and that's a great point, because there's already hype for there's hype for Leroy. There's hype for the Naruto you just showed. Like, just sell it. Just make people happy so they're excited that they bought it at retail. You don't have to hold it hostage. So and that's exactly the point I was trying to make earlier, Riley. Like, whether it's Thrilljoy or Funko, like, everyone just be good to your customers and just sell your product the right way. Like, don't hold your product ransom. Don't abuse the community, like you just said, Josh. Like, just if you have an item, whether it's hot or not, like, if it's hot, let it sell. If it's not hot and it's something that you kind of have to sit on for a while, then I guess you're going to sit on it for a little bit. It's not as hot as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's 1,200 pieces. Like, something like this is going to sell.
Oh, this is going to be gone. If Funko dropped this on their website tomorrow for like $40 or $50 or whatever the tiered price would be, it would be gone in a minute. So
I think this is awesome, Randy. I have met Ray Park to get Darth Maul signed before as well. He actually gave me an extra free photo, and then he took a photo with me. Like, I took a photo, got a couple pop signed, and then he actually gave me a free extra signed photo when I was talking to him. He spends his time with every fan. So I will warn you, his line moves slow. Like, I was at a comic book shop, and I thought, oh, I'm pretty close. Like, I'll be out there. It was like 2.5 hours later. I finally got to meet him, but he takes his time. He does moves and shows stuff to people and like talks to everyone, and like especially like kids and people that are really into it as well too. He spends his time with everyone, and that's the kind of thing like I definitely would always want, like, signed in person, like you said, John. Not everyone's like that. I know other people are like, they sign stuff and like leave, which I don't think I would want to pay for their signature, but he's cool. He'll take a picture with you, do everything, do a pose or whatever. It was really cool to meet at Acme Comics. I met him a while back. Josh, where are you going in Florida? You're not going to say hi to me? What's going on? What else we got?
Randy, I'm slightly jealous that you get to meet Ray Park.
He meets a lot.
I hope you have a great time.
If you had an extra glow, Randy, Darth Maul, I'd love to have that like signed in, like almost like a glow marker kind of thing. That would have been awesome. That would the glow Darth Maul. But Toy Temple has they have a warehouse actually in California. That's what they're talking about. They actually have a warehouse in California. So they're in Arizona, I believe, but they have a warehouse in California too. And I will say I bought stuff from both Chalice and Temple. I bought surprise sets from them. I bought other things from them. They're really good companies overall. I would just say be careful on like what you do as a company. As we see some new companies come in, I mean, I don't know if you saw my photo earlier, John. I posted from Gemini Collectibles.
Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
They sent me a huge, brand new owner. Him and his brother are running it. I'm actually going to have him on a live stream coming up because I was like, I want you guys to tell about like what is going on, because people really haven't heard of Gemini. Like, Gemini was really big for Funko for many, many years. And I think it kind of like died off because the people, like, they weren't as active in the community, but they had some cool, like, they were like OG Funko, like, company, like OG if you look at some of the stuff they had on their website. And I think there's a great opportunity to use the Gemini name, but also someone taking over the different thought on how they do business and what they're doing and what they're planning. I think they have free shipping right now until Sunday too, which is crazy. Like, not many companies are doing free shipping. Like, go over there. They've had tons of grails and other pieces of collections and all kinds of stuff. So, those are things. Like, we're seeing some different companies come into play, and with these limited drops, you're seeing companies that never had a limited drop before start getting stuff like this, which could be good and could be bad if they don't use it right. So, do you want to talk a little bit about NFTs, John?
Yeah, I know some people have been very upset that we don't talk about NFTs.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of news with NFTs, and that's what I want to talk about, actually. So curious if we'll get a drop tomorrow or not. So this year, this is how many drops we've had so far. If you see the Q next to them, the green is active drops that have not taken a snapshot yet. So those are ones that are still active. You can go buy packs, you can open packs. Only 4 active drops, which is not a lot. Like, I've never seen only 4 active drops since the very beginning, I think. All the Qs are when they're supposed to be shipping, if they ship on time. So the Q3 is usually that, I would say, almost like October-ish frame. Q4 is probably your December, maybe get into January frame, kind of stuff like that if they go by fiscal years like that. But this is the fewest drops, and right now it almost looks like we'll be almost one a month if you think about it. If we only get 1 drop in August, and I don't know, we get a drop or 2 here or there, we might be lucky to get 14 drops this year, maybe, if we're lucky. And I don't think I would count the Dark Valentine as a drop. It wasn't a real drop. It was more of a, here's a free release of packs for reward people, but there was no like purchasing of it and things like that.
I think it still counts. It was just different,
It's different, but there was no way for anyone to buy packs even after like it stopped for reward members. It's hard to differ like how many people would have bought packs. Would more people buy packs if you could have bought them, or less people buy packs? It's just, it's kind of like someone gave you a free pack kind of thing going on. But this is last year's. And it's very similar for the year before. We do have a couple that are still in that pending zone. So if you see here, we got 1, 2, 3 drops that have not come in yet. 2 of them are due end of August, early September. So we have Funko Ween Series 2 and we have Stranger Things Series 2. Those were delayed because of damage issues, they said. We have Batman, the pretty much the villain series, I would call it, but that one is delayed because of issues with boxes and things like that. Right now, the other one is starts in Q3. So we haven't even got, this is a good example, John. We haven't even got the first drop of the year with the new number count on it yet. And we might not get that till October or November this year.
That's a bummer.
Just to put in perspective, whenever an NFT drops, give it 10 months. That's how long it probably takes from the point it closes, pack sell, snapshot is released. You got another month to claim your coins, and then after that, it's 3 to 4 months for shipping. So 10 months, almost a 10-month window for any time out there.
It's a long time. That's a really long time.
I think that kind of hurts them with the new releases, because there's quite a few good drops in here. If you look in here, Transformers was a great one. I think that did really well. We had, I think, some drops that didn't do as well, but on the aftermarket, they've done really well. We have things like turtles that have done well. We don't know how some of these other ones will do in the aftermarket because they're not even out yet. So it's really kind of an interesting mix, but such a small, like, it's a small genre too of stuff. Like the less you put out, it's the less of different people. 3 of these drops are Funko kind of owned IP. You got Funame, you got Dark Valentine Freddy, and I guess you can't. I guess and April
Fools is technically their own IP. Yeah.
Yeah. So those 3 are their own IPs. So 3 of the drops they put out don't even rely on others, which is interesting. So, yeah, you need to eat them. Oh yeah, if you have any issues, you could email them, but I don't think they're doing anything about the misprint boxes. I don't remember them actually saying. I know they were for the Grail for Beetlejuice, the spelling wrong, but the back of the box having the wrong card on it. I don't think they were doing anything. I'll be Pops. If you hear different, let me know because I got quite a few of them as well myself. But I don't know. What do you think, John? Like, are you concerned at all seeing this? Do you think for NFTs?
No, I'm not concerned just because they're the only company left that's even doing NFTs and they're making, money hand over fist. So I think it just has to do with the CEO changeover. I mean, it has to go all the way up to the top to where they're just not pumping out as much just because they either don't know what direction to head into. They don't know. They're still working out, like negotiating with the licensees, like, okay, what characters are we going to make? How many packs are there going to be? Like that kind of thing. Or they're just taking their foot off the gas pedal for a little bit just to, I don't know, maybe just to focus on other things. They have their hand, like what people don't realize is like Funko has their hands in so many pots at any given time. Like it's actually amazing that they do as much as they do with I don't know what the current count is on their staff, but I know they have a pretty small staff for everything they do as a $1 billion company.
Yes, Riley, you can reach out. So if you ever are moving or changing, reach out to them and they should be able to update your shipping on those. So definitely go ahead and reach out to their support and tell them, whatever redemption number for those, and then they'll let you know and you'll be able to update the shipping. So they should be able to do that as long as they haven't shipped. This is my other thought though, John. I thought about this the other day when I was doing weird math. I don't know. I get into this sometimes, trying to figure out what's going on because it started concerning me seeing only 4 drops were active. And I was like, well, that's not good for them because they make money off the marketplace. They make money off of each drop, and you could have a drop that's really successful or a drop that kind of flunks out and doesn't do well. You could have the medium, even though Marvel didn't do well on percentage wise, they had much more drop though. So technically they still made as much.
But that was terrible. Didn't that drop the release? That was the same day as the Fun Days drop,
and
right?
it was other things with it.
That was stupid.
But I think also it was a lot more packs, so you're going to have a different perspective on it. And similar to Star Wars, it wasn't even though this was original trilogy, I think we knew the redeemables weren't 4-inch pops on that. That one has 2 grails though, which is a pretty weird, fact on that. But I think do you think this? Do you think people miss NFT drops more regularly because they need to gamble and they need to get that shot of dopamine? Or do you think they actually miss the NFTs because they want to see more limited pieces? They want to see different characters because it just seems like people want to gamble right now. I think a little bit of both. I think people want a chance to get something, but also not everyone goes after every drop then too, John. So if you put out less drops, that means you might be I only want to go after 4 drops this year. If you don't put out a wide enough reach, you might not get the collectors into the new, a lot of people this past year has been their first year into NFTs because there are drops they were excited about and found out about and figured out how to do them. Also, with them taking over the marketplace, it makes no sense. They have now cornered the marketplace and they're making more profit off of the marketplace, where before Wax was doing a lot of it and they made very little money. Now they're doing their own marketplace. They have to be making more money off of that. I don't know how many people they also have on this drop team. So that's why I did these numbers. So I did how much they would make if they sold every pack of Thundercats. Thundercats was a great example. Last drop, it did pretty well. It only burned 12% of total cards, which is not that much overall. But I did it as if they sold everything out. There would be a little over $500,000 made, which is pretty good for 1 day of work. Yeah, 1 day of drop. You make $500,000.
Which makes no sense. Like if I was Funko and I'm seeing this type of math, I'm telling you, there would be 2 NFT drops a week. Like with that amount of profit. That's why I'm saying I think the problem goes, or the issue right now, or whatever's going on with NFTs, I think it goes all the way up to the top, because this is not kid money. This is real big boy money.
But there's other costs in that. So all right, you do that. You also make money off of everything in the marketplace too, as well, John. So every sale on the marketplace, I buy a pack, I get a Roku Grail that's $540. I sell it. They make a percentage off of that sale that someone else bought that I don't get back. So they're making money off of every sale of extra packs. They're making money off every sale of extra cards. They're making extra money, which Funko doesn't make on the secondary market anywhere else, right? They're making that. The only other addition, though, there is additional costs. We don't know how much like servers cost. We don't know how much it costs to mint every Funko NFT. Like NFTs cost to get minted. Like you're paying a fee to do like produce them and make them and put them on the Wax blockchain. So you're paying things like also additional artists to create these, which a lot of them are very similar. So it's just changing some styles with them. Some of them are very detailed and really great though, too. I will say they have done some really great artwork and animation and things like that. So you're different artists than you would a normal Funko Pop, because you're doing animation and everything. Who knows? I don't know how many people to have on the drop team. I also don't know how much it's costing them to ship, because they're also shipping not from the Arizona warehouse. These all come from California. So they come from a totally different warehouse, which I don't get at all, like how they're not integrated together, but maybe because of how drop works. I don't know. But my thought was Funko's been testing out these tiered NFTs, right? Well, if you took those same, really this drop only has 5 Funko Pops. If you took out those same 5 Funko Pops, 3 of them are legendary level, which cost $40. One of them is a Grail, which costs $50 on the entire market, and one of them is a royalty, which is $30. You take those times the amount that each of them would bring in if they sold out on the Funko shop or exclusive retailer or whatever, they still bring in $349,000, John, of fees. Now, they do give a free pop protector in almost all these levels, I believe, which it really costs them $1, maybe, if you think probably, but
yeah.
But how much does that other side, like if they're not producing, like you said, it would be different if they're making this money 24 times a year, but if they're only making this money 12 times a year, a little bit over, is it enough to pay all the salaries and other fees that are associated with NFTs? And this is why I thought, is Funko testing the tier market because they stole the same naming convention and the same kind of like rarity to maybe eventually phase out NFTs? Like, could that happen with if they find it very successful to do all these drops, like in these limited numbers?
I think they need to do both avenues, because if they even if it's more profitable to do the limited pieces, I think there's hype right now with the limited pieces because there's, this is something new. But here's the thing with the limited pieces, if they want to continue selling them out, eventually, like this, that's why I was surprised that Snow White sold out. If they keep throwing up lazy limited pieces, eventually they will not sell out. Now, if they continue putting up fire, like in the case of Star Killer tomorrow, then yeah, they're always going to sell out. But I think they got to do both. I think they have a market. They have a customer base with the NFTs. People want to keep collecting NFTs. They burned a lot of people by just kind of cutting off sodas, and then people are like, well, I really like sodas, but now the sodas I have are here, and are they continuing the line? If they did that with NFTs, I think they would anger so many people that you'd have a portion of those people who quit Funko altogether. So I think it would be in the best interest to continue doing NFTs. Now, with those numbers that you just broke down, like, yeah, they're making a lot of money, but of course there's costs that are involved with it. But they wouldn't have done NFTs for the last, what, 3? Are we 4 going on 5? Are we 3 years going on 4, right? With
I mean,
NFTs right now?
2000 or 2021 was the first year of NFT.
Yeah, so we're technically 4 years going on 5 for NFTs. Like that's a long run. And
I think
if they were to stop it, I think that would be a huge mistake.
I think it'll depend on like how these keep selling. Like I'm surprised at some of the pricing on a lot of these NFTs right now on the marketplace. Because there's a lot of things that have went down. Some have finally went back up. I'll be curious about like how things go. Avatar was like the kind of like oddball one, right? Like you have Roku going for $400 to $500. Grail. You have Aang, which is a legendary, going for $100 right now. You know, like $95 to $100. You got some of those kind of things, but I think one of the things we don't know how much they're making in the marketplace. They could offset every cost that's here that I said below in the marketplace, and we don't know. Like we don't know what they're making with how many exchanges happen in that marketplace on a daily basis, just from people buying packs and selling things and buying other packs. Because once they have the pack sold, everything else is extra money that they're just kind of making off of all these sales. And it's just interesting. I would hope they don't, but it just got me thinking about like with how they're naming conventions and everything else is kind of falling in line with that. Like what if they did that and sold, you could go buy this Freddy. Like all of us would buy this Freddy, right? The Thundercats Freddy. That's an awesome Freddy. Like, you would buy that right away, right, John? If it dropped anywhere, like you wouldn't question if it was $30 and it dropped.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, no doubt, we're gonna buy it. You can't, you know, and that kind of thing. I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes for them, but I don't know if slowing down too much is going to hurt them more. I have a lot of people that are like, well, we're ready for the next drop. We completed our set. Where's the next drop? Like they don't want to keep buying packs of stuff they already have a set completed or two of. You know, like the people that are opening packs are people like me. Like I opened pack the other day. I had some crappy packs, and then I got a Marvel pack with 2 Grails in it. You know, like I like that because I like mystery boxes. I like
I think the NFTs are complicated enough to where it's going to scare away a lot of people, including some flippers, because they're just not going to get involved. Now, some people go really heavy in NFTs, and then they buy up a lot, as many as they can, and then they just wait till they get redeemed. I actually think that with if Funko does do, like you're suggesting, Josh, that Funko is going to go much heavier into the limited pieces.
They could possibly, like this could be a I'm hoping they stick with the NFTs. I think a lot of people.
I hope they stick with the NFTs because I think if they go heavy with limited pieces through this new system, even with it being tiered pricing, I think Funko has the potential to get, dare I say, like
race people out.
Kind of ugly. It will just kind of ugly because you're gonna see it'll be like kind of we'll go through a phase like we saw many years ago where like things were selling out left and right on the Funko shop. Where that's not going to be the case here because it's not going to be like, oh, a random Tuesday release. It's like, no, every scheduled limited piece is going to sell out. And with every limited piece that sells out, people who don't get one are going to be pissed off. And then it's just you're going to see like this kind of like what's going on with Pokemon right now. Like people are so angry in the streets that they can't get the cards that they want because they're reselling on the secondary market. I could see that actually happening with Funko. Now, that would be good for Funko in a way because it would be bringing in all this positive, like, oh, wow, Funko is really selling again. So you'd actually see like probably a boost in prices on the aftermarket for a lot of grails again. You'd see a lot more people kind of flooding into the hobby, most of them for the wrong reasons. But I could see what I would consider probably everybody watching right here, like we're all like true collectors. Like we really like these figures. Like we want the characters for our collection that mean the most to us. That like this is what hurts us because it prevents us from getting these limited pieces or these hyped releases. So I hope that they do the limited pieces And I think I said it in my video yesterday. I hope they don't like overdo it and abuse it and make it like their bread and butter for how they're going to make money and how they're going to hold hostage their most creative figures. So I hope they do, I hope they keep doing what they're doing. Like, you got to put out good stuff for the NFTs. You got to put out good limited pieces. You got to put out good con pops. If they start wising up and they're like, wow, we can make a lot of money off the limited pieces. We're not going to do anything cool anywhere else. Everything else that we release is just going to be the same old status quo. That would be disappointing.
Yeah, I'm just hoping, they continue along. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we get a drop tomorrow. I think if we don't get a drop tomorrow, people are really they're at this point like, what's going on?
Well,
Like,
why? Here's the flip side of that. Why are people like, what's going on? Like, it's okay to save money every now and then. It's okay to
I don't think it's save money. I think people are just like, we're ready to see like what's next. It's been now, when things get to the point where like you're getting one. It'd be different if they said, hey, we're gonna do one NFT drop a month. Then people would know they do one NFT drop a month. Or Funko's showing at least the 3 limited pops that are coming out this month. Like I would actually, I think I actually liked when they showed what's coming up a little bit for a month, because you can also plan, like you said, John. Like, you might say, oh, I know Thundercats is coming up, and I know TMT is coming up. Thundercats Series 2, TNT Series 3 is coming up next month. I really want to get TMT. I'm going to save more of my money to get TNT than I would Thundercats. When it comes around and Thundercats comes out and you're like, oh, I want to buy that. And then TMT comes around 2 weeks later and you're like, I don't have the money for that. Now I spent that. That could be an opposite effect as well, too. I don't know if they worry about that too much with the market they're trying to buy. A lot of people buy packs. There's a good number of people that buy packs that also flip packs too, like throughout the time.
So people, that's why people are itching. Oh, you just hit the money on the head. It always comes back to money. People, there are not all, but there's a portion of people that are just itching because they want to have the opportunity to potentially flip packs and make some money.
I think another issue right now for a lot of people though with NFTs is actually the shipping timeline. Like, I know a lot came in damaged and things like that. The problem is I think they need a status page for shipping. I think they need some kind of like updated status page for shipping where people can easily go check. I have people message me all the time and like, when is Stranger Things Series 2 going to ship? Like, I don't know. I haven't heard. I have to go back and look at the Discord, and I look, oh, it was like a month ago they posted that they're not going to ship till August or September. But you have to like dig through Discord or dig through social media to find that. There's no easy way to find that for people. And I think that kind of concerns people. There's like no way to kind of check like what's going on. These were supposed to come out before. I don't know where they are. And people don't follow them on like a daily, weekly basis. Like, I'm probably a little more into it than like the normal person that might have just bought a couple packs and got a couple redeemables and are happy and just waiting for them. So I think that too is like they're a little back. If you look at how many drops right now we're waiting for, I mean, we're waiting for 3 from last year, 4 from last year that dropped. Like, Festival of Fun is due Q3. These were all due way before that, but they had issues. I think that's another thing. It's like people are just concerned because they're not getting them too little. So they're like, what's going on? Like, why aren't they getting them? Or why aren't they communicating maybe better? Those kind of things. So I think that's a big thing too as well. And I think, you kind of like sometimes you have to be on there, but even then, you're not getting a much of an update. Like, they said, oh, we'll update you soon, but they haven't updated anything else about those. Like, hopefully they're still on time for August with the September. I hope they come out before the next season of Stranger Things. For me, like I want to get them before. I want to get these other ones before the next Funkoween drops. For this October, Funkoween drops and things like that. So I think that just concerns people a little bit.
I think Marcus brought up a great point. He said, I feel like they should do limited drops twice a month, NFTs once a month. That keeps the hype without being overwhelmed financially. Thoughts? I think that would be good, Marcus. My only thought would be is if we go like 2 or 3 months where it's like, let's say it's an NFT line that doesn't interest me, or let's say they do a lot of anime limited pieces that I don't care about. Like, I think they would just have to keep it, like, make sure they're hitting multiple themes, so to keep a lot of different fan bases engaged.
I will say, limited drops, they're not just dropping on Funko, though. They're dropping everywhere. There are 9,500 pieces at Hot Topic. There was another one this week. There are 9,500 piece at Box Lunch. There's a 1,200 piece at Toy Temple. So they're not dropping the limited pieces just on the Funko shop. You have to remember, they're dropping them everywhere now. And I don't think it will slow down. I really don't. I think good for us as collectors. I want to know how many pieces things are. I don't mind, because I don't collect everything. I wouldn't, I don't have to have every limited piece that's out there. If I want to buy it as an investment piece, that's a different story, but if I want to just have it as if it's something I need for my collection, it's a different story as well too. I think that's sort of kind of two different things going on there. But yeah, they were. I think I don't know why they stopped that. I don't know why they changed for the year. Maybe because they weren't. Maybe there's a lot of uncertainty too, and that could be it too. There's a lot of uncertainty about manufacturing, shipping, what else is going on with them. So maybe they're having delays in getting their IPs approval. Who knows? You never know, why they might be delaying some of the stuff too as well. But I enjoy NFTs still.
Here's the flip side. Let's fast forward. It's August 7th, 2026. Funko has gone all out, and there's been an NFT drop every single week for
I think that'd be
every month of the year. We would be overwhelmed. So I think if we're here, if we're in a situation where we are a little bit underwhelmed and we're like, hey, what's going on? I think it's always better, less is more kind of thing, because companies can always step it up. I mean, and I think just in general, a lot of companies, including Funko, they're dropping a lot of stuff to where we don't even know. There's so much stuff that they come out with on a daily basis, you can't even cover it all.
Yeah.
If you actually tally up all the products that they make, it's just
now we have our new version of black light chrome whatever. We have blueprint series now that's going to be coming out. So.
Which this is unnecessary.
I mean, these look all right though. Actually, I kind of like them. I just think they're going to overdo them.
Do you really like them? Do you?
I actually do. I did you get the Batman and Robin blueprint?
No.
I actually did, and I actually liked them in person.
I think Batman and Robin were special just because
they're limited.
It made sense. The blueprint of the Batman and Robin Pops are very old.
Are they just making these because they're droids? What are they making them for? Why?
Now they're making them for money. They are blueprinting money. Here's the thing. Chopper, they only came out with in 2016. R2-D2, they made one in 2011. But this is weird to me. Now I don't like this. This is weird.
I think I still want to see every 2-week drop. I think twice a month, not even every 2 weeks.
I think twice a month for the NFTs is a sweet spot. I agree.
Yeah, I think they did really well with that, and I think they would actually make more on the marketplace if they did that, and they have a better chance of a success and a failure of a drop too. How about if you have 3 drops that are failures in a row? What happens then? Are people going to start losing their jobs at drop? No,
I mean, it's not their fault. If the community doesn't react the way they thought, they just have to go back.
Sell so much, they're not going to make as much.
Well, if someone's job is on the line month to month, that's not a company I would want to work at. That's not.
You only do 4, and I mean, who knows? Funko does these things too.
Is this real? I thought this was a concept.
Is it?
I was hoping it was a concept.
I'm pretty sure this is real. I think.
Wow.
I don't think there was a market for these. Was there?
No.
Was there any market after the first couple?
Actually, I will say this. Funko created their own scarcity with these because they get damaged in the mail so easily. There's actually only a handful of them on the secondary market that are still intact.
I mean, I have my like original. I have a couple. I have like Mickey, both the Chase and the Common. I was lucky to get, like, I ordered 2, got them. Like Darth Vader, same thing. Like a couple of the things. I don't really care about the Chase on most of them though. Like, other than it's cool to have the Chase, but I don't get these. I don't get why they would spend this much to make these, and also like people would spend this much money on these.
You know, somebody in the meeting was like, anime people will buy anything. Let's do it. Demon Slayer diecast.
And I still don't like how everything on the box works. Like, I don't think it's perfected. I thought they would improve some stuff on it. But I guess not, but you think they would put the Chase on the like shield gear now, because they're putting the Chase on the boxes maybe. I thought that fake, but no.
Marcus has another interesting comment. He said, just look at Nike. They've dropped some crazy stuff this year. Oh, somebody else commented. Now it's gone. They've dropped some crazy stuff this year, and for Nike, it's not even selling out because they're overdoing the drops every month. Funko is on a path of flooding their fans out. Well, we're kind of saying the opposite right now. Like, actually, Funko is not on a path of flooding their fans out. People are asking for more, which I think is good. That
they're not asking for this, are they? Are they asking for this though?
No. Well, I think in terms of like NFTs and limited pieces, people want more.
Yeah.
In terms of diecast,
I think collectors want more.
I know, right? Watch this sell out. Now, if they would have made this a limited piece, that would have been really interesting to watch.
Yeah, like 500 piece.
Yeah,
500 piece of this. I bet it would sell out.
I heard about the Nike situation. Nike just got greedy. They just put out way too much stuff, and people just can't keep up. I think for Funko right now, they actually have a sweet spot. I think they're putting out a good amount of stuff, a well-rounded product catalog right now that keeps everybody a little bit happy. 2 months ago, I would have said, man, they're really slacking with Star Wars, but look what they're doing now with Star Wars. So I'm happy.
And then, you get some anime Bitty Pop thrown in there and you're in trouble. These things are going to go crazy.
Now, Bitty Pops, they did. I will say this with Joanna and I, they flooded the market with biddies. I did not expect.
They went back to this style. They keep changing styles. I don't know what is Bitty Pop style anymore. Like, they have these boxes, they have the 2-pack, they have the single mysteries, they have I think it's more complicated than the regular Funko Pops now, with all the Bitty types and how they sell them and what you can get. Like, I would hate to be a Bitty collector completionist.
We wanted to be a Bitty completionist, but there was just no way.
No, you're not getting there. What is the chase on these too? There's a little chase symbol, or does all these have a chase? Like, that one below is the chase out of each one. They show it now, or what? I have no idea what's happening with
I don't know.
Okay, if anyone knows, please let us know in the chat. But I have no idea what's happening with the chases on these, or if they're ones without chases. I don't know. We get some Rocky Horror Picture Show pops coming back. They haven't made any of these for a little while. They're bringing these back. Mr. Frankenfurter himself there. I know John's not going to collect these, so not in your collection wheelhouse, I think. And then we did have some, like, this is kind of interesting, like, new releases of like exclusives, but slowly for like pops that are out that don't have a huge line. Like, Watchmen is kind of interesting release. I still don't know why they didn't make Dr. Manhattan Glow, or if a Glow one's coming out with the LE 750 or 1200 or 5000 soon too. But it's a Funko Shop exclusive. But it's interesting how these are coming out and what's going on with them. So, if you like Wicked, some new pops.
Oh yeah, I saw the second part's coming out in November, right?
Yeah, we got the Flockness of the Lion, who looks like a real lion. We got the Tin Man, who's metallic, and we got 2 others. I think are they diamond? One's diamond. I think Elphaba, is she Diamond Elphaba?
Oh, dude, Carl hit the nail on the head. Re-releasing diecast nobody asked for, but not sodas that everybody's been asking for. Yeah, if that's just not the quote of the year, like people are chomping at the bit for sodas to come back in full force with chases, but they're coming out with diecast. Yeah.
So I got a prediction about sodas I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
You want me to go into it now? My prediction.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're all curious.
Let's take this off. We'll remove this for now. We'll bring it back.
Wicked.
All right. That didn't work.
You can leave yourself big. Oh,
there we go. All right. So sodas. I think it's time for Funko to take something out of the playbook of many other companies over the years, steal something that's working for another company well, and make it better, and make your product sell. So we've talked about this before, and I think we've talked about it before. Perfect time for Funko to say, you know what, Brian Mariotti, I like what you're doing with Thrilljoy with the chases and the super chases. We're going to do that with sodas. Ha! We're coming back with sodas.
That would be
that end.
That would be the ultimate. Yeah, that would
be
crazy.
I think it would be a smart time for them to do it. Like have a soda. Every soda they say releases no more than 6,000. That's it. No, they might have some that are less. You have a 1 in 6 chance at a chase, and then we'll throw in some super ultra whatever chases you want to call them, mega chases, something crazy. You know, the 24 piece, the 96 piece, the 100 piece, whatever you want to make them for your thing. But I will say, like, I've had a lot of people say to me, well, Thrilljoy's taken over. They're doing, and I know your feelings about Thrilljoy, John, and we've talked about them. But I have two thoughts on number one, everyone collect what you like to collect. I don't care what you collect. You collect what you like to collect. I collect what I like to collect. We all collect different things. We get over things. We love things. We hate things. I will say, though, just like with sodas, I will warn you, soda collectors, I was one of them, that could buy 10 sodas and not hit a chase. What do you do with those 9 other commons that you have? Now, sometimes you can sell. Yeah. Sometimes you can't. And I think that's one of the things they have with Thrilljoy. People don't realize the people that are buying them aren't buying one. They're buying 10 of them or 5 of them or 3 of them or whatever. But especially the people that must feel like they have to get that super chase, like they could be going hard. I've seen some people going hardcore. I will also say it's also like a little bit of false sellout because they're selling out, but every day you go on Whatnot, 3 companies have a stream going on selling every single pick that they said sold out because they bought them.
Maybe it did technically sell out. They just sold it to
their partners, probably at a cheaper price, and then they could sell it on Whatnot. So I just like
it is the perfect. I will say this: it's the perfect product for Whatnot right now because it is great for Whatnot. Anything that has blind packaging, that's why cards do so well on Whatnot. Like that's.
I mean, people love that's. I mean, it's entertainment, and you got a chance to win something, and everyone gets to see you win. You know, like that are in that room, you know, like they get, wow, John, you just pulled that, you know, and it was the same with sodas too. Like we did soda games, we did soda thing. We knew what people enjoyed, you know, and it's just the easy way to do it. But I will say that for a lot of people, like you kind of have to be careful on saying, oh, they sold out everything. Well, they sold out to a retailer that now has to sell it, but they're still selling stuff like Leos and Gilmans and things like that you thought, oh, they're all sold out. They're not really sold out. They're just sold to retailers already that are then reselling them to you on Whatnot every day.
But people don't want to, they don't want to think like that. They want to think that they're getting in on the hype early and it makes themselves feel better. Like they made the right decision. So they want to go tell people like, and that's the thing, like, if you feel like you have to go tell somebody how great the company that you are collecting is, well, for like, what are we doing here? Like, just enjoy what you collect. But there's so many people, yes, that have been like, oh, like Thrilljoy is taking over. Like Thrilljoy is the new company that everybody wants to get. Yeah, Thrilljoy has some hype right now. People are having fun with their product, but just let it be. Like, and this is where, like, and I think this is where maybe social media kind of plays into this. Like, we get so invested in what the company is doing. Like, if the company is actually selling out their products, good for them. But do you like the products, or are you just there because you're just trying to get your foot in the door early with the hype?
I mean, I think sodas were the same way, John. Sodas are very much like, and I think Brian took that playbook. He was very much part of sodas and very much cared about what sodas did and how they did, because he was very involved in that piece. And I think he took that playbook to kind of bring them and realize that he wanted to do something different, but kind of had to go back to doing something he did, which is fine. It works. Like, do what works. But I think sodas were the same way. One of the things I could say is there's a niche of people that know what sodas are and talk about them. I watched a lot of other things about SDCC. The only people I saw talking about Thrilljoy were the Funko people that know Thrilljoy. I didn't see like these random bloggers that like I was watching that are like Disney people or other like things that like were like, oh, I found they found other Marvel stuff and other things like that, but they didn't find Thrilljoy. And I think that's one of the things I remember doing shows and having sodas out and no one knowing what these were. They knew what Funkos were. They knew what Funko Pops. Who doesn't know what a Funko Pop is? There are very few people you go up to and have no idea what a Funko Pop is. But you go into any store, they see a Thrilljoy on the thing. They have no idea what it is. The people that are going in there are usually
it's brand new. And
no, that's what I get. Sodas were the same way for 3 years.
Well, sodas. I would argue that sodas were a tad different because they were already from a company that had been established. And if Funko had started out in 1998 and like the soda product was their product, like a blind packaging product with a chance at something that was even rarer than what was on the front, I feel like the whole customer base of Funko would be so different. People in general, and you know, you guys in the chat, like, feel free to chime in. I feel like people who collect Funko in general, they like how the figures look. And once again, just, I won't even say concerned. I'm just observant, and I'm over here just kind of seeing what's going on. And I'm just wondering if people who collect Thrilljoy, if they even like the Thrilljoy figures, because yes, there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of excitement with ripping them open and trying to get the chase. But I don't hear a lot of people saying like, oh man, that Leo figure looks so good, or that Batman looks awesome. No, I hear a lot more of, I need that chase. Can you imagine if I pulled that super chase? Which is understandable because there's hype, but at the same time, like, if Thrilljoy is putting all their eggs in the blind packaging aspect of their product, I think you just have to worry about the longevity of your customers, because like you mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, if I have 10 Supermans because I was going after the chase and I only need to keep one, and I have 9, but I can't get rid of them because they're already opened, and the whole selling point of a Thrilljoy product is that blind packaging with the chance of the chase. When you remove that variable,
will they sell?
Will they sell at all, or do they even have any value at all? Like Brian just said, he just uses his as giveaways on his Whatnot shows. So that's where I'm concerned. Like, do the figures hold enough from an aesthetic standpoint, from a collecting standpoint, to where people are like, yeah, I'll give you $10 for that.
But you know, it's funny. Like someone asked me to buy 2 of mine. Like they knew I opened some, and I said, yeah, I can sell them to them. I'm like, I see this site still has them for $20. If you want to go buy them for $20, like, go buy them. And I said, I'll sell them to you for $15. I'll take $5 off because, you know, and also a lot of them, I will say, John, I was like, I think I said last stream, I was very smart on buying a lot of stuff. Like I even bought a couple today. I had 25% off coupons for hot box lunch.
Oh, there you go.
You know, that's how I'm buying them. I'm not like, sodas were the same way. Like, I tried not to pay full price. If I could get them at Hot Topic and get a coupon or get a hot cash or get a rewards thing, I'm doing that, right? Like anything, that's how you do it, especially if you have to go after a blind box and a chase and trying to get that. Like, on top of it, you're going to buy multiples. But I think the key is there is a lot of good figures that I like. I think there's several. I think that's like Vince and I both have talked about it. I think with you is like there are IPs that we like and enjoy that are part of it. I think that look really good. I think that's the same with sodas. Like, that's why I got into sodas, right? Like, I love the chase aspect, but also there were a lot of really good looking ones. There were some terrible ones that I didn't go after.
Yeah, we still have ours on display. Yeah, there was a couple that I didn't like, but the ones that we like, we still have on display. And even there was with sodas, though, the figures that we needed, we still bought plenty of them that were pre-ripped, you know, that we still needed for our collection. So that's all. Like, for me, it has to be both. Is there do the figures look good? And also, yeah, if there's an exciting factor as to where it's like blind packaging or limited edition or chance at chase, like those are all bonuses. But at the end of the day, like, it has to look good for me to buy it as a collectible for something I want to collect long term. That's all.
I think one of the other things that I was just kind of like thinking about too, like, it'll take one of the bad points that I hear some people starting to talk about is when you get to the point where you're 24 pieces or 96 pieces or 48 pieces, whatever they are for these super and ultra chases, are like a main figure in that line, there's no chance you'll ever get it. Like, unless you get lucky in pulling it, you're not paying. I think it'll be interesting to see how the market goes with chase prices. I mean, we saw it with sodas. They were high, then some get lower. Depends on the one. Some will get higher, some will get lower, some will be around. And you're going to see that with a lot of the figures. But it's crazy to start looking at the aftermarket price on these like 24s and 96s. And they're just going to be, I think, hard for people to sell, though, too. Like, if there's too many, every drop has them, then people aren't going to go after them very often.
Well, like, you have to find that sweet spot to where, like, what's a character, like, what's the first character off the top of your head that has a 24 piece?
Well, a 96 piece Krang. How about a 96 piece?
Okay, 96 piece Krang. Perfect. That's a great example. All right. So let's say you pull one and you want to sell it, either to fund another figure or you need to buy a refrigerator or something, right? Like, life event happens, whatever. Happens to us all. You have to find that sweet spot to where you have to look at the market, see the comparables, but maybe there are no comparables yet because you're one of the first people that pulled them, or there just haven't been that many that have sold. Like, I think people need to be more realistic in finding that sweet spot to where you want to sell it for like a reasonable price. Because you could say, yeah, hey, there's only 96 of these in the world, and I have one of them. You don't know where the other 95 are. Maybe there's 3 of them on the market. Maybe there's 4 of them for sale. Who knows? But you're like, hey, you can't get too caught up in the number, because if you do want to sell it, like, I think that's where you see potentially the good come of people and the ugly come of people, because sometimes people get really greedy and they're like, no, I want $4,000. Like, this is a 96 piece. Or where I've run into a lot of people, and a lot of people have been so kind and generous to help me, and I hope I've done enough in the community to help other people back, is to say, you find that person where Krang really means a lot to them, and you go, hey, I got this 96 piece. I know you're a big Krang person. I see you got all the other Krang figures. This might be the one that completes your set. I was originally looking to sell it for $500, but because what do they retail? They retail for $20. Let's say 96 piece. What's the whole? No, we're doing money here. What's the whole for the?
I mean, let's just say 6,000. Make it easy.
All right, so $20 retail, 6,000 pieces, 96 piece. Company hasn't been around that long. I would say like $300. I think if you want to sell it really quick, I think like $300 based on the and I'm just ballparking here. Maybe there's one that's already sold for like $1,000, and
I think a lot of them are selling for like 500 from what I've seen. Other than that,
but I'm just saying, like, if you want to sell it fast, like, you have to do numbers where, like, you are making $280 before fees if you're doing PayPal or whatever. Like, you got to be realistic, but like, that could be in the ballpark of where somebody who's a diehard fan could be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on this. Or if you make it too high to where somebody's be like, you know what, I love that character, but 500 is just too much, man. I'm so sorry. Like, you're good, because then you got to go find another buyer. That's what I'm just saying. You got to meet in the middle, and you got to realize, like, if you can make $280 on something that you bought for $20, like, you take that money, you celebrate, and you go do what you got to do.
I mean, I think a lot of people could, like, if you're not a collector of it, it's very easy. I think if you're a collector of it, it becomes a little tougher, because you're like, will I ever get this again? Will I not? Like, I think also, it's different 96 piece and say the 100 piece, and they dropped 100. Like we know everything has sold for Huckleberry Hound right now, right? And there's a 100 piece out there, right? And that 100 piece, 100 people have it. Someone has it. But these other ones, like for Thrilljoy right now, every day I'm seeing people, like I go into a Whatnot stream just to watch and see what I like to see what's pulled. Like I won't buy many at all from a Whatnot stream anymore, but I like to see what's pulled. And I know companies.
But why is that?
I'm not paying $30 for one. Like you were paying $30 for them. I'm not paying $30 for something I bought for $20 or could get for $20
with your coupon. You got coupons too.
And I paid $10 for some. But with hot cash. So like seeing, but I'd like to see like people are still pulling these. So these things are still coming out. So it might be 96 pieces, but only 40 of them have been pulled so far. They're just like sodas, like chases with sodas, but these are more limited pieces than sodas. It was kind of like the Social Media Freddy is a great example of that, right? I would say only 200, maybe 300 Social Media Freddies in the first 6 months made it out there, if that. Because the chase was going for what? 1,600 at one time?
It was pretty high at one point.
Yeah. And it wasn't that, it was like lower chase, but it wasn't crazy. And it wasn't like a crazy different mold or something like everyone had, but there were so few of them on the market. And that could happen with like Krang. If there's only 4 people willing to sell it, well, if they all sold them at $500, then that sets the precedent of $500 until other people are willing to sell it. But someone might finally pull it, like you said, for $20 and be like, hey, I can make $200 off of this and sell it today, and it's gone. I'm going to sell it for $200. Like, yeah. I think anyone does that, like with different sales like that. So it's just really interesting.
Even if you make a couple bucks and then you use that money to literally go buy 8 or 10 more Thrilljoy figures, like there you go. All those figures were technically free for your collection.
I mean, and it's the same concept with NFT packs, right? You buy an NFT pack, hit a grail, you could keep that grail, right? Or you could sell the grail and go buy.
I think people just get greedy and they just get blind and they don't realize that, like, I feel like most collectors are middle class. Like, we don't have a lot of extra money to throw around, so it's just like, if we companies are putting out cool stuff, some of us have more of a budget than others, but at the same time, like, don't forget about the pure principle of helping people, and helping people goes for every community. Like, whatever you collect, like if it's Funko, Lego, Thrilljoy, like Hot Toy, like whatever it is, like that is something that can unite us all as collectors, looking out for one another.
And I will say, before you start buying stuff from people's streams, Thrilljoy sealed, watch the stream for a while to see what's being pulled. I would say I trust people like a Chalice, a Toy Temple, a company, but these single people that are selling Thrilljoys right now sealed, people are weighing them. People are talking about all kinds of different things.
But that's also the risk you take. I mean,
but I'm just telling. I want to tell the community, like, warn you now, like that can happen, especially even down the road as things go on. So who knows how they'll change them up or do them different. But I think that's something just to think about in general. But I think I think we talked about a good stuff. A lot of stuff was about. Right now, limited is in for collectors. No matter what. We're talking about Thrilljoy, we're talking about Funko, we're talking about NFTs. Limited is what people want as collectors. There's another side of Funko we've talked about before in the past that's not collectors. It's just a retail arm of getting stuff out to people and selling it to mass retailers and getting it. And there's the arm for that. There's also the arm for collectors. And I think all these companies are doing a good job with collectors right now. Like, it's been the best for collectors as it has been in a long time, really. I think overall for the option of limited collectibles in a variety of markets. So hopefully we can, stick with that and do well. But I think you want to wrap it up, John? Wrap up the night?
Yeah, the boss is looking at me. I got to get back to work.
What do you want to talk about, John? What do you got coming up?
I got a big veterans charity auction that I'm going to be at on Friday, August 29th. I think we're a couple bookmarks shy of 100. If you guys haven't, go bookmark that stream. You've had 2 hours to do so you better do it in the last minute here and go get those bookmarks up for Professor Josh because we want to raise as much money as possible. We have a pretty busy weekend. I will have a video out tomorrow. We're going to do a auction tomorrow night. We're going to be doing something pretty cool. So make sure to watch tomorrow's video because it's going to be a pretty big giveaway. And then we're doing a live stream on the Lego channel on YouTube Saturday night. And then we'll have more videos next week. But
awesome.
That's what we got in a nutshell.
Yeah. We have a Thrilljoy video coming out tomorrow. So we have that coming out tomorrow. We have from SDCC and some stuff sent over. We have, of course, our anime auction coming up on Saturday night. So hopefully come out the Saturday night, enjoy a little anime action. If you are into anime, there will be plenty of it, really. Like, I found so much stuff. So please come out. I'll try to put some stuff in by now, some stuff into the auction. I don't know if I might even throw a surprise set in there or something fun too, depending on how everything's going. We, of course, have our Veterans Charity auction coming up on the 29th. As John said, we will have some guests, some surprise guests throughout the night. So John is one of those. That's not a surprise. So, but we'll talk about.
It was a surprise.
Not really. Not really. Come on. You're going to be on there. Vince is going to be on there. Right. But there's some other people that you might not know that you do know, but you might not know that are going to be on there. So we got that going on. So if you haven't bookmarked that. Also, I will say we're going to do something different this year too. Beyond this, of course, we're raising funds through Rally and Raise. So if you don't want to buy anything, you're like, I don't need anything more in my collection. I don't need to buy another thing from you. Instead of doing a tip or something like that, just go over to Rally and Raise, this site right here. It's right through the foundation because we have a chance to win an extra $1,000 on top of whatever else we raise. And then 2 other teams are getting $500 for the most individual donation. So if you want to go over there and donate $10, $20, $30, $100, whatever, I think 3 people have already donated over here. So definitely, please just scan this, go over there, make a donation. It's tax deductible as well too. But we're going to do something else where we're going to have an announcement in 2 weeks on the Wednesday prior to the auction, like the Wednesday almost a week and a half before the auction. We're going to launch a auction site that's going to have about 15 to 20 packages, special packages of things to bid on. There might be a package of Thrilljoy that are like TMTs or TMNT. There might be a package of anime pops and a package of some other things that you can bid on up until the Wednesday. We'll have a live stream the next Wednesday. And then afterwards, you don't pay on that site. You go over here to this and make a donation for whatever you bid on. Make your donation there, and I'll send you the stuff, free shipping to you. So I'm only doing that for a certain number of packages of items, but these will be like higher end things that I want people to have another way to bid, but also, as we all know, like it becomes more complicated the more we have actually raised funds with our taxes and everything else. So this way you guys are just paying directly to the foundation through their site, and I'm not having to deal with the money in between. So you guys are actually doing that. I'll just confirm your donation made, and then I'll send you your items. So that's a cool thing about that one. And then, we'll have some other fun stuff coming up, but that's a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, we just got I filled the entire back of Shannon's SUV with boxes from Gemini Toys today to take over to storage tomorrow. We got them at UPS, probably UPS delivered them 5 p.m. or something tonight. And we're like, we'll wait till tomorrow to take them to storage. But so we can start going through all that. Maybe we'll make that a video for you guys, going through all that fun stuff and seeing what they all sent over. But appreciate everyone that has sent over stuff. A lot of people have reached out about sending things over to you. I want to get everything by the 22nd if possible. And then, of course, we'll have some other videos coming out, things that are coming in, some mystery boxes we have, and then also just some other fun videos we have coming up. So some good times. Vince will say, let's see, Vince would say, we have some videos coming up. Yeah, I think that's what Vince would say. I don't know if they're having an auction next week or not, because I know they're on traveling. I don't know if they're having their auction next Tuesday night or not, but you could go over there and bookmark any of their auctions they are having. So I'm sure they would appreciate that. And I appreciate everyone else coming out, hanging out with us. Thanks, CrossSave. Look at that. Yeah, bookmark those. We haven't. The link's also on this page as well, too, to bookmark and go over to the auction page. So we'll be listing as we start going through stuff. We'll start listing stuff. I will probably list some stuff as buy it now instead of auction as well, too, just because I think we're going to have a lot of stuff, and some of it will be the similar stuff. So I don't want to auction like 6 of the same thing off. I'll just put it as a buy it now. Say I have 6 of these, go buy them. Because some of the stuff I know Gemini sent over, they might have sent me over a case of something old they had, those kind of things. So we'll have some fun with that. But I think that's about it. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Hopefully everyone had a great week and a good time. And then we'll see you throughout the weekend, all of us, some point. So we'll see you later, everyone. Have a great night.